I know, it sounds absolutely crazy that the home that you buy today is going to cost you 30% more than it did a year ago. I know, it is mind-blowing, but we're going to go into the why and how this happened. Now, here's the thing. Make sure you subscribe, okay? Subscribing lets others see the video. It says, hey, this is some good content. Lets others see it so they can make a really good business decision. It's free. There's no cost. There's no obligation to this at all. So make sure that you subscribe. Hit the bell. If you didn't catch it, Dan Gold and I at Dan's with Cross Country Home Loans, he and I just did a video on mortgage rates, what the heck is going on, what to expect, and are we going to hit 6%? You got to watch the video because, well, I think you're going to be a little surprised. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the market. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on and how in the world did our home price, the cost of that payment go up 30% based on last year. All right. Well, that's really simple, actually. If you've been watching the show, you'll know this answer. So first of all, let's go through a couple of little market trends. Then Lawrence Yun from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, super smart dude, very nice guy, very humble, really great guy. Anyway, we're going to get into that and explain the why. So active. Year over year, okay, so 2021 versus 2022, year to date, okay, we're up 3.1% homes on market. That's available homes, not new on market, but just available homes. That's 140 homes. Now, you might say, okay, well, what does that mean? Okay, well, first of all, normally we should have 12,000 to 14,000 homes available right now. We don't have that. Right now we have about 4,200 homes. So to add 140 homes actually is a bigger deal. Now note it's only 3.1%, which shows you that 140 homes actually is a really tiny number, sadly enough. All right, so when we talk about new on market at 1.6%, which is about 300 homes, that's a step in the right direction. Now, let's talk about geography because everybody needs a geography lesson, and today's the day. All right, so geography, the Northwest MLS, right? The Northwest Multiple Listing Service is from the Canadian border all the way out to the coast, parts of Eastern Washington and parts of the Olympic Peninsula, okay? It's a very large area, large. To have 300 homes come on market, well, that's fabulous. You know, as far as more than we did last year, that's great. But that's a really tiny number for the vast area that we are talking about. When we talk about pendants are down 1.7% or 400 homes, well, of course. And in fact, Lawrence Yun says that there was a unexpected decline, 4.1% as a matter of fact, decline in purchases and pending home sales, all right? And the reason is, and as Lawrence Yun suggests, is because of our limited inventory. Well, yes, that's a given, right? If there's nothing there to buy, then you can't buy it within reason, right? Unless you're looking at like off-market homes and things like that, which was one of the things we specialize in. But that's something to keep in mind. That's super important. If we can't get enough sellers in the market, then we can't get enough publicized sales to happen. You need one to make the other happen, right? Okay. You need gas in your car to make your car go. All right. When we take a look at solds are down 6.3%. That's only 1,200 homes. Again, it's a drop in the bucket. Absolute drop in the bucket. Because here we should have 12,000 to 16,000 homes, 12,000 to 14,000 homes available in the market. But you know what? That was old school. So if we have a bucket, and we call this bucket the Northwest MLS, and all the real estate agents put their listings in this bucket, boop, I put a lid on it, okay? In that bucket, I should have enough inventory in this bucket to last me 4 to 6 months. That's what they said was a healthy market. Now, I must confess that I'm kind of swaying away from the healthy market is 4 to 6 months. Because even though the prior years of my career, going as far back as 30 years, shockingly enough to say, You know, that used to be a good number. But since about 2013, that number has, well, it just hasn't been there. And well, next year, that's going to be 10 years of not having, 4 to 6 months of inventory, having a significantly diminished level. In fact, when we were up at 2 months of inventory, we were still struggling, but still, I mean, we had at least more homes. We're at a half a month. We have 1/2 months. We have 2 weeks, 2 weeks of inventory. That's it. In 2018, we had 2 months, 2.5 months. We actually almost hit 3 months. And we thought, wow, we have inventory. No, it immediately fell. As soon as rates fell in late 2019, really 2020, our inventory just absolutely collapsed. It is just a line going down, and you'll see that, okay? Because shows my charts. All right, anyway, when we come over and we look at April 2021 to 2022, just the month of April, we're far enough into April to get a little bit of a trend. So we have more homes on market than we did last year by 140, pretty small. All right, here we go. We are down though, 165 homes. We're down 5.8%. Pended is up 15.6%. That's a big deal because when we saw just the last couple of weeks, especially like our running day average here, because Fridays is a big list date, we saw a lot of homes coming on market. So new on market in the last 7 days was 1,569, the largest to date for this year. That is the largest increase 7-day average this year. This one right here, which almost met how many pended homes went off market. And as you can tell, we still had more homes going off market, not as many, than we did new on market, all right? So this is a big deal, primarily because we had more homes available. Interest rates still eked up, even though they kind of came down a little bit, they've still been in an upward trend. For the month, we're down 6.9%, it's 190 homes. Really, again, because it's such a vast area, that's not a big number at all. What is the biggest reason that we're seeing some of our sales? Because again, remember, that's a rearview mirror. We're looking at what went under contract 30, 45 days ago to translate to sold homes today. So next month, we're going to start to see those numbers change. As we see this number increasing, that number will alter, it will change as we head off into the upcoming months, as our spring market again is still being very aggressive, very, very bullish. Now, when we talk about all of the market activity, and you might say, okay, George, dude, you said it cost me 30% more today than last year. And that answer is yes, because again, it's that kind of that 1-2 punch that hit us because we've had the greatest mortgage spike increase since 1983. I mean, it just went whoop, way up. Why? Volatility, what's going on internationally, whether we agree with it or not. The fact is that had a massive impact on rates. However, because we have such a few number of homes available, all it is really doing is slowing down the aggressiveness of buyers. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about that $100,000 haircut. I told you I'd use it again. Anyway, because of the rate increase, right? Because for every $100,000, okay, that cost is $537 a month. Okay, that was a big increase because not everybody could have absorbed the $537 additional money. That's additional cost for your mortgage for the same $100,000 borrowed. From December at 3.11% to 5% in April. Well, it's just a shade, it came back down again, but it bumped up right next to the fives, okay? That's $537 a month difference between those two interest rates. So when you take into consideration the additional cost based on mortgage interest rate and the appreciation of homes, the value, the price of homes, when you combine those two together, it costs you 30% more, unfortunately. Now, some of you might be saying, dude, I missed it. No, you haven't, okay? First of all, no, you haven't. Make sure that you understand, hey, listen, here's the thing. If you rent, there's no security there, Okay, we saw a 10% appreciation to 15% in some areas. Rent increase immediately, okay, after the landlords were allowed to do an increase because they had been held off for over 18 months, okay? So they had to make up a little bit of time. We're going to see, again, another 8 to 10% this year. Easy markup on rent. So your costs are going up, okay? Look, it's inflation. You have more insurance. Your taxes cost more. You have maintenance costs that are more. It goes up. In fact, that's why owning investment properties inflation-proofs your retirement, because your 401k did not take that credit for inflation, okay? It's still just earning whatever it is, okay? So, own real estate. Highly recommend it. Talk to your real estate broker. Understand the benefits and the depreciation, appreciation. We'll get into that. That's a different story. Anyway, back on track. All right. So, if we know that the single family home took a 14% increase, and that was done by Yardi Max. That's their matrix that they did. Just single family alone took a 14% increase. All right, that's in your rent cost. Now, granted, in the core areas, being a renter in the downtown core areas, okay, it makes sense to rent because of cost. Okay, I get that. But once you get outside of the immediate core areas of the city, it is cheaper statistically to own your home than it is to rent. And you get a lot more stability with it, and you get the appreciation, okay? Now, even though you've got some folks out there, so the feds, what did they say? The Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas stated that values have become unhinged. And that now there's little relationship between basically value and price. And so it was kind of an interesting kind of off-the-cuff comment because they have to be super careful what they say because it does affect the market, right? However, as he says, you know, that, listen, this is uncharted territory. And I'll tell you, since 2008, there's been a lot of uncharted territories that everybody's experienced. And it's been, well, it's had quite a learning curve to it. But understand, when we take a look at the value of ownership plus appreciation, everything else that goes into it outside of the immediate core areas, hey, it absolutely makes sense. No, you haven't missed the game. Yes, there are still homes out there. Yes, yeah, interest rates have hedged up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. There are ways to buy down rate. There are ways to look at alternatives to give yourself some financial security versus being a tenant to somebody like me, your landlord, because I have to keep up with costs. I have to maintain my buildings. I have to make sure that everything is appropriate. Plus, I also have to turn some form of a return. It is a business. I have to get some form of return on my investment. That's what it is about. Now, I love it when you guys are my tenants. Love, 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 love it. I even love it when you pay on time. That's even better, okay? Because I can keep things looking better and keep improving, which is awesome. However, for you, look, in the long run, it's cheaper to own for you and your family and stability. But don't get me wrong, I like you as my tenant. All right. So if you have any questions about this, hey, post your questions. We've been getting some really great conversations going. Some people agree with me, fine. Some people don't agree with me, fine. It's just good to be open and to hear different points of view. The nice thing is most people tend to side my way because I've got some really good metrics to share. Not national, local, where we're at today, because those are the only ones that matter to us right now. I'm not really concerned about what's going on in Florida and Texas and Arizona and Ohio. It doesn't matter. Matters what's happening here. So remember to subscribe, like the channel. Let us know what questions you have. If there's something you want to know, let us know. We'll answer it for you. In the meantime, market is doing very well. Our inventory is horrifically low. We did see a few more homes coming on market than we did in the last weeks. That will continue to happen till about mid-May. Mid-May, as the summer starts to kick off, kids are getting out of school, people's mindsets are on vacations, our real estate market is going to slow down. And you know what, this year, I think it's going to slow down again. It did last year, first notable. I think this year we're going to see that same experience. So if you're a seller, you best be considering something and do not get caught up in that end of May kind of dead spot or deader spot until after the July 4th weekend. After the July 4th weekend, we pick back up again until about the mid to late August. Why? Kids are back in school again. Last minute vacations. Mindsets are not on buying homes. Mindsets are doing other things. And so our market slows way down and whoop, and picks back up again. Plan for it. As long as you're planning for it, you won't be surprised. And watch the channel because you learn this great information. All right. Have a great day. I see the sun's trying to poke out. Stay dry out there, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.